we start with a view from one of the mine I visited with him, the Borcarica mine, where we found a lot of very big quartz and some phosphate minerals. We were looking for phosphate minerals this time. I do a few visits with Jacques Cassedanne, and today I will explain you how I meet Jacques Cassedanne, who is Jacques Cassedanne, and why his collection is now at the Natural History Museum of Luxembourg. So, on the picture just you see there is Jacques Cassedanne on the right, myself in the middle, and my colleague from the University of Liège, Frédéric Attert. We were together to the field also, and here it's just in front of the entry of the Urucum mine. It's a picture of Jacques Cassedanne due to one of my other friends. We do this picture, he never want we do picture of him. So we have only a few pictures of Jacques, and he never want to be photographed. My friend do the picture, so after he sent me this picture, it's a very natural picture. It looks like Jacques during the field trip we do during more than 20 years. Jacques Cassedanne is born in 28 in France. He lives in the Reims area, the Champagne area. He do his university at the Sorbonne, and he do also some other study. He do more manual study, and after he go to the university for study geology first, and after mineralogy. So here is the front page of his PhD thesis. So Jacques Cassedanne do his PhD thesis in 72, and the subject of his PhD thesis was the lead and zinc deposit in Brazil. So before to go to Brazil for this PhD thesis, he worked a lot in France, in some lead deposit in France, in the Vosges area. He do also cartographic job in the Vosges and Alsace area, and he do some trip for the company who exploited the lead in Algeria and in Tunisia. After he go to Brazil and he prepare his PhD thesis about the lead and zinc deposit, and I will show you also some very interesting lead mineral he found by himself and who are in his collection. Here it's part of the publication I do just after the Jacques Cassedanne passed away in 2018, and I do a publication in the review L'Uranium Mineral. And what I want here to show you that he do more than 280 articles in a lot of different review, but also into the mineralogical record, in the uranium mineral, and in the Canadian mineralogist, and also in the gem and gemology. So he's a well-known scientific who publish a lot about minerals and deposits from Brazil. One of his publication into the mineralogical record is the publication about the Sapucaia pegmatite, well known for the beryl. It's also called Berylo mine, and as you see, it's a big publication, and he do some general work about different deposits. He visit a lot of time deposits, and he come back to deposit a few times to see the advancement of the work of the miners. And so he do cartography of the mines, and he locate all the time his specimen when he found specimen. So the scientific quality of his collection is very high. It's really rare to have a collection where you could know from which mine come the specimen, from which gallery, and at this level, and found at this time. It's really important for a museum to have a collection like that. And it's the major point of his collection is the scientific point of view. So Jacques was also a very humble person. He have a very good relationship with the miners. He never go there to buy minerals, but he go there to study the deposit, and he do his scientific job, and he also give information to the miners. So when, with this information, miners found in a few weeks after a very good pocket, there is also a specimen put back for Jacques Cassedanne. When he come once again, his specimen was there, and he received it as a gift, just for the help and for the humility of his contact with the miners. Here is with Jacques Cassedanne in the Galilea area, in the Galilee area, the Baisho mine, and he was very interested by the system, the garimpeiros, so the miners, due to go around included a shaft to extract the ore and the rocks. And he talked all the time with the miners. It was very interesting to see him and his contact with the miners. Here it's on the Fleur de Mai mine, just in front of the well-known Sapo mine, with well-known for the green apatite. And as you see, it takes the time to speak with the miner. It was the chief miner, but it could be just a garimpeiros. He do the same. He was all the time the same with all the person. Once again, one of the part of the article I due to present Jacques. Just want to come back. And it was in one of the mines we visit together. We come back just after. Jacques come a lot of time also, all years in Europe to visit the big shows. He come to München, he come to Saint-Marie-aux-Mines, but he come also to the Liège show in Belgium, and in the Lyon show in France. It's practically 4 big shows he do all years, and it was all the time very, very good to see him and to talk with him. When we go to the field, it was a very special experience, because we take the small things to start the day, and we never do lunch. We are to the field and we didn't stop. When the sun go down on the first place, we stop to drink a few beer. He like beer, and as he say, it's in Brazilian, cerveja estupidamente gelada. He want all the time beer, very fresh beer. So it was like a manner to end the day. We stop and we drink a few beers. Jacques Cassedanne was so well known that the mineral was dedicated to him, a mineral with lead, a chromate and vanadate from lead found in Russia. This mineral was described in 1984 and was described with some people from the School of Mines of Paris, and he received a specimen who is a part of the holotype. So when you go a few times with a person to the field, it creates sincerely relationship. We do big travel during 3-4 weeks. We do 3,000 kilometers and we visit more than 20 different mines. So you must live with the person, and it's the creation of a relationship with this person. So here it was at the Genipapo mine in 2005. We visit this mine, and he said me, we could go to the mine, but it's impossible to find some specimen. And I come there and I start to search about mineral. And as you see after, I found one very good specimen. Here we are also with Frédéric Gattert in the Boa Vista mine in 2008. It was a field trip for the research of phosphate minerals from pegmatite to for a PhD thesis for a student from the Liège University. I show you this picture. It's at the entry of the Eurocomb. And just after the visit of the Eurocomb mine, we go to the director of the mine, and we have had the possibility to visit the deposit and then the stock. And as you see in the background, a very big quartz crystal, and we have so had the possibility to buy some very nice kunzit. So this office is in Governador. So Governador is the big town around this area with a lot of pegmatite. It's the big pocket from the Eurocomb mine. There they found the very big quartz, and as he say, like hippopotamus in a mud float, and they found also the kunzite and the very nice morganite from this deposit. So to visit mines, it's also to have samples after to do description of the mine, to come back to do analysis and also to do publication. Is the scientific way, and it's the reason why we visit mines with some scientific like Jacques. The same at the entry of the Fleur-Domé mines, we also do the same. As you see in front, a lot of spodumene crystals were used now for the lithium as our deposit. Just to show you the map made by Jacques Cassedanne with the Minas Gerais area, you have the location of the Araçuaí locality, a small town, and around Arasawi, you have a lot of different mines. All the black points are different mines, all the red points are the mines we have visited together. We come back to this picture from the Genipapo mine, and I say you that I found a very good specimen, and this mineral is cosnarite. The mine is also called Cosnarita mine, and as you see, it's a really rare zirconium mineral. And I found the specimen, and I show him in. Oh, did you find that? No. Okay. As you see, sometimes you are lucky. So it's a phosphate with zircon and potassium. It's a 4 centimeter crystal, and this specimen is, as you see, there is a figure number. I'll talk you just after about the book I do with Jacques Cassedanne, and this specimen is figured into the book. Here it's the front desk of the book. The book is in 2 volumes, and it's a book with very good reference for minerals and gems from the eastern Brazilian part. So from the area of Rio, Minas, Bahia, and all the Nordeste area. You have a lot of information of this book. It's classified by species, but you have also a lexicon with all the name of the mines. Sometimes some mines have different name. We do the link between these different names, and you have reference to the pages where we talk about these localities. So it's more than 671 pages, full with illustration, with field picture, with plan of the mine made directly by Jacques, and all the picture of the specimen are made by Jeff Scoville. So Jeff Scoville go directly to Brazil to do the picture of Jacques Cassedanne, and after he come to the museum to make picture of the specimen we have choice with Jacques for to put into the books. So now we have the collection of Jacques. So all the specimens figured into these books are now at the Natural History Museum of Luxembourg. As you see here, you have a very nice morganite with different crystallization, and this specimen was before in the collection of the museum. It's come from the Rosten collection. It's time now to show you where Jacques was living. He was living in Rio. It's the view from his apartment. So you have directly a view to the Bay of Rio. It's 400 meters to the beach. It's not the Copacabana beach, but it's Gloria Beach. It's a smaller beach, but more quiet. You enter into the building where Jacques was living. I was very impressed the first time I come, because up to the lift you have the old system with the different levels were shown not by digital number, but by an analogic number like this one. Here is the collection of Jacques Cassedanne in Rio, in the shaft he do by himself in Jacaranda. So big specimen in the vitrine on the front, and after you have drawer with a lot of specimen inside. So we go further and we open the drawers, and you see here the drawer with the Tourmaline, one part of the Tourmaline, the Elbaite. We go more in details to this drawer. One is putting out, and it's a draw with tantalite, microlite, a lot of mineral found also in pegmatite. And as you see, it's documented like a curator from a museum do. All specimens have number, you have a description, you have the date of the found, you have the locality, and you have all the information you need about the specimens. One of the vitrines of Jacques with more interesting specimen. Here to the left, you have a very nice morganite. On the upper part, you have a very big topaz, blue topaz from the what's the name of the mine? The Virgin de la Palma mine. So it's the picture made by Jeff Scoville, who is published into the book, and this specimen is also presented in our exhibit From Dark to Light. So you see the size of this specimen. It's not a small topaz. It's a huge and very nice topaz with like an aquarium. So the donation of the collection of Jacques Cassedanne is the biggest collection we never received in Luxembourg. In the Natural History Museum of Luxembourg, it's more than 9,500 specimens. I say more than because you have 9,500 entries, but some of the time you have 2, 3, 4 specimens for each entry. The collection arrived in Luxembourg in August 20, just last year, 2 months before the opening of our exhibit. And here we must have special thanks. First thanks is to the ambassador of Luxembourg in Brazil, who help us for all the paper we must do for the custom and for all these things. And it's also this ambassador who signed the donation directly for the museum. We also have a very special thanks to Cargolux, who help us a lot to the transport of the specimen to Luxembourg, and also for all the custom papers who are very, very difficult to have in Brazil. So back again, 2 years before the arrival, and it was just a few months after the death of Jacques. And I go there with my assistant to put all the specimens in packs. We do directly a list, an informatic list with all the samples. So I do the packaging and she do the list. It was 3 weeks and more than 3 weeks of work, 10 hours a day. So it was not vacancies. We were in the apartment during the whole day, and it was a lot of work. So as you see here, the box, the paper box we do, there is approximately more than 100 boxes. We put the boxes in the apartment directly like that. I show you a few pictures. All boxes are numerated, and in the listing we do, we know the specimens who are in each box. It helps us a lot because when the collection come in Luxembourg in 2020, in August 2020, and we must have some of the specimen for the opening of the From Dark to Light exhibit in the middle of October. We just take the list and we open only some of the box to have the specimen we want absolutely to show in the exhibit. So once again, a picture of the boxes. You see the boxes 97, 99, and also the drawer full with specimen of minerals. When the collection arrived in Luxembourg, it was in big wood box on pallets, and it was made directly in Brazil and transported, as I say, by Cargolux in August 2020. And here, once again, I want to give a big thanks to Cargolux to the help for this transport. We open the boxes, the wood boxes. We put all the boxes directly in stellage in the order of the numbers, so we could open each boxes, remove the paper, remove the system, and check if there is some damage into the transport. And hopefully we just have 1 or 2 specimens who were breaked during the transport. And it's specimens like Vivianite who are very, very fragile, but the rest of the specimens are completely intact at the arrival in Luxembourg. So here you see the specimens, some of the specimens, a big morganite, some emerald, some Euclid. And we put the specimens into the show. Will open end of October and who is open until the 6th of January. So as Patrick say, if you have the possibility to come and see this exhibit, we do a very nice exhibit. All the people who come and see the exhibit are all with the same opinion that it is a very, very nice exhibit who explain how how gemstones are formed into pegmatite, into metamorphic rocks. And after we speak also about the synthetic minerals, and we end the show with a lot of cut stone and very nice specimen of cut stones. So once again, this picture of Jacques, because I love this picture, it's very natural. And I want to show you that the collection of Jacques is not only Brazilian mineral, but also a systematic mineral. He was a systematician. Here you have the picture of the Cassedanne, of one of the Cassedanne he had. So, and here is the label of the specimen. As you see, it's what we call a metatype, so a part of the holotype, who was given directly by the School of Mines of Paris to Jacques Cassedanne, because he has also a lot of contact with the curators of the School of Mines Museum. It's a very nice cerussite from Morocco, a big twin, an old specimen. This one he has by the specimen. And as you see on the labels on the back part, you have all the time the information of the people from where the specimen are from. You have the locality, you have the reference number who is also on the specimen, and the year of the acquisition of this specimen. It's a very good specimen of cerussite from Sumeb here, coming from the Pitt William collection. Reticulate cerussite. Here you have a very beautiful leuroconite from Cornwalls. Specimen was exchanged with the Sorbonne University. As I say, you will have very good contact with a lot of different curators from France, from the US also. This one I like, this species, is why I show you. It's a tibiotantalite, a very big crystal from the Alto Ligonia. And he put all the information also that the specimen is repaired with a big sample like that. Yeah, sometimes you have repaired specimen, but we see that the specimen is now like that, very complete. Here you have a Mangodo Tatalite, also from Alto Ligonia. I love this type of minerals, that's why I show you these ones. It's my choice, it's perhaps not the choice for everybody. And here it's a plumbomicrolite from Mozambique again. So you see, 3 of the really rare minerals from Mozambique he has in his collection. And it's not only small specimen, it's well representative minerals of the species. One of the last specimens he buy, it's an ametrine from Bolivia. As you see, he buy that in München in 2006. This one is a rarity. It's a very nice cubanite from Shibugamu mine in Canada. This one is a covelite from Butte, Montana. And this one is one of the first specimens of this collection, because you see number 39, he starts with the number 1, and it's a very beautiful acanthite from Annaberg in Germany. This one is very big and huge peragerite from Andersberg. And here I want to come back to his PhD thesis. This reticulate cerussite is from Brazil, from the Boca Rica mine, and collected by himself. I want absolutely here to show you some of these reticulate cerussite and also some other lead minerals he collected by himself during its PhD thesis. As you see, these beautiful snowflakes, reticulate cerussite. Once again, snowflakes. They are not very big, but very sharp, a little bit like the Iran specimen we found a few years ago. But these ones are from Brazil. I never see that before, that in the collection of Jacques Cassedanne. You have also pyromorphite with a very good color, also from the same locality. Another pyromorphite from the same locality. So pyromorphite and cerussite from Brazil, it was for me unbelievable from this quality. So I come back to the book of Jacques, and I want now to show you a few specimens just photographed like that with the hand, with my handy, and after the picture made by Jeff Scoville. So you see the whole specimen, and you see the specimen with the picture of a specialist. So it's from Teofilotoni. It's one, the elbaite who is on the top of the desk, and here you have the picture made by Jeff Scoville. So we have a few pictures like that. This one is an incredible crystal, an 8-centimeter bismuth crystal from Brazil, from the Rio Grande do Norte, from the Boqueiro mine. We know very good crystal from Germany. There is also a few other crystals, but a crystal like this one, for me, it's a killer. It's one of the best bismuth crystal from all over the world. And it's a bismuth found into a pegmatite. This one, it's a phenakite crystal from the well-known Piracicaba mine. And here the specimen with my hand, it's not very good, but as you see, picture made by Jeff Scoville is with a very high level. Why I put you for you specimen with the Jeff Scoville and the specimen in hand, so you have directly the reference of the size of the specimen. You can show that directly. This one is very interesting. It's a morganite from the Sebastião Dutra mine around Arasway, but I never see a chatoyance like that at the end of a crystal. And I talk about this specimen to a few specialists, and nobody could say me, oh, it could be ochre. Here's the picture made by Jeff Scoville. So you have the third dimension. The chatoyance, it's not so evident, but you see that around the specimen, around the hexagonal size of the specimen. This one is a huge Euclid from Encoberto, also in Minas Gerais, found by himself. And here it's the picture figured into the book of Jacques Cassedanne. Here it's just a mica, but mica could also be very, very, very nice, very sharp, and with a lot of different colors. It's the lepidolite variety found in the area of Coronel Mota, and here is the picture from Jacques Scoville. A very special shape of shore. We didn't see that on the picture from now. It's from the Boa Vista mine, the old Boa Vista mine, because there is a few mines in Brazil who have this name, because Boa Vista is only a nice view. And from a lot of locality, you have nice view. So Boa Vista is a recurrent name for a mine name in Brazil. So on the picture of Jacques Scoville, you see it's a very flat shoal, and it's found only in some pegmatite. This shape, normally you have the triangular form of Tourmaline, but here the shape is very, very different. We found also some shoal who are like balls. Here you have a very nice alvite from the Navigadora mine. Navigadora, we speak again just after. It's the locality with the very well and very gemmy garnets. But alvite, it's also a rare beryllium silicate found in this locality, and with very good crystals here, a good shape, a good group of crystals. This one is very exciting because it's one of the best Paraíba tourmaline from the top locality. I found into the collection, but I found this one after the opening of the exhibit. You see a 6 centimeter Paraíba Tourmaline, and as you know, Paraíba is one of the best tourmaline for the moment. It's the tourmaline all the people want to have. So in our exhibit From Dark to Light, we have some of these figured specimens who are in exhibit. You have, for the spodumene part, some kunzite and some edenite. And in the small case on the middle, you have this huge edenite from the Resplendor mine. So I put you also the size and the reference of the figure number from the book. In the different type of zircon we present into the show, so you have some picture of the exhibit and the explanation we give into the exhibit. You have this zircon, very big zircon. It's more than 10 centimeters from the Pinto mine. I talk about the garnet from Navigador. Here it's the garnet from Navigador, this pegmatite from the coming out of the Jacques Cassedanne collection. So it's a second garnet from his collection. From Ceará. So Ceará, it's a part in the Nordeste, a more small province in the Nordeste part of Brazil. Once again, another garnet from the Governador Valadares area. Is not very well located, this one. Area of the Tourmaline part, and as you can show, it's the showcase we have for the Tourmaline. It's a rubellite from the Linopolis area. There is not a lot of rubellite in this part. The Linopolis area is very well known for the Brazilianite. Here it's an elbaite on quartz from Escondido, a very dark elbaite. It looks like a shoal, but it's not a shoal. So some watermelon tourmaline from Santa Rosa, 10 centimeter crystals. So as I say you, 9,500 entries, just a few number for collection. And I want just to end this presentation with a big thank you to all of you, and for sure a big thank you to Jacques for his friendship, for his scientific point of view, for his sharp temperament. People who know Jacques know that, and for his heritage to our museum.
Thank you, Simon, for this presentation about a great collection. So it's up to you now, the public. If you have some questions, si vous avez des questions, n'hésitez pas. So put them in the chat, and we'll try to to respond. So for me, it's absolutely fascinating when I see how a new collection enters an existing collection. So I think you will pass the next years to put them, to classify them in
It's not
your
a big
collection.
job. We start a big job because in the collection of the museum we have one part is systematic, but we have also presentation. We want a part of collection we study. So mineral from Luxembourg, for sure, we study a lot and we publish a lot. And we have also mineral from Congo and mineral from Brazil. And for this type of collection, we do a classification which is not systematic, but location by location. So we could study after and come back to a location to do the study of a whole location. And the collections are open for study, and we have some contact with universities, and we have also some PhD theses who are programmed for the next year, normally for to study part of the Cassedanne collection.
Mm-hmm. Question here from, I think, Cedric Schneider. Did Jacques Cassedanne realized XRD on his most problematic samples?
Yeah, Jacques Cassedanne was professor at the Rio University, and his wife, who worked with him, was a chemist. So Jacques collects the specimen, he do the first part of the description, and his wife do the analysis, and especially XRD analysis of specimen. You have this type of apparel at the University of Rio. So a lot of the specimens are really well checked, and we know that it's this species.
So recontrol of the pieces done by you don't have to do this recontrol. So or
a lot of analyses were done in the 70s and in the 80s. Mm-hmm. So the apparel we have now are more performant, and it's more easy to go more in details. So for some, I think we must do a reanalyze to be sure it's this species, or perhaps I'm quite sure that in this collection we could find new species.
Oh yeah, okay. So we have in the past, we have had some new mineral species from Brazil.
Yeah.
So these were found in collaboration with Jacques Cassedanne?
Yeah, for sure. When we go to the field the second time with Frédéric Attert, it was in the for a PhD thesis. And during the PhD thesis, the student found a new species with the Kingate Fa2+, Fa2+. So it's the first new species we discovered with Jacques Cassedanne. And just after, one of his friends was studying species he have found with Jacques directly into the field. And we do the description, and it becomes the Willan Coquet we describe with Jacques in collaboration with the Liège University also. So we have found 2 new species in Brazil until now.
Mm-hmm. Is there another question? Okay, so I think it's important also today to remember that we have the International Museum Day was the focus always on the importance of museum collections for science too. Yeah, there's a question by Terry Helminger. Do you have collaborations with a country of origin?
From Brazil, yeah, I have a lot of I have a few collaboration with Brazilian people. So my colleagues are also into the commission of the EMA, so the Mineralogical International Association. And when I do my PhD thesis, there was 2 or 3 Brazilian boys who were there to do the PhD during the same times. So one of them is now a professor at the Pernambuco University. So I work also with him to verify some of the localities and something like that. And also from the curator of the collection of the what is the Sao Paulo University, who is a well-known mineralogist in Brazil also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems that there are no new questions. So, Simon, thank you again for your presentation about this fantastic collection. And yeah, if you have time, so profit and come to the museum. We have still 3 weeks left to visit it. Bon, en français aussi, hein, donc profitez des 3 prochaines semaines pour venir au musée si vous n'avez pas encore vu l'exposition. Si vous l'avez déjà vue, c'est toujours possible de la revoir.
C'est vrai que les gens commencent à venir. Aujourd'hui, j'ai eu la visite de plusieurs collègues de Belgique qui ont fait le déplacement. C'est vrai que normalement, on aurait pu avoir beaucoup plus de collectionneurs de France, d'Allemagne, de Belgique qui auraient pu se déplacer. On espérait avoir la bourse de Sainte-Marie-aux-Mines et Munich en même temps, justement pour que les étrangers puissent se déplacer juste après ces bourses ou juste avant pour venir voir l'exposition. Donc voilà, avec les conditions dans lesquelles on a dû travailler, c'est pas évident.
A question here from Georges Tasserou. In terms of quantity, what is the percentage of the Cassedanne collection compared what the museum's previous collection had already?
So we have an increasing of 20% of our collection. So we have now approximately 54,000 specimens. So it's approximately 20% increasing of the collection.
Okay. Yeah.
Patrick,
une question qui.
You answer, please. You answer.
Simon, je pense qu'il avait déjà certainement envisagé de la prolonger. Je pense qu'il n'aurait rien eu contre. On a quelques contraintes par rapport à une autre exposition qui va suivre, qui a déjà dû être annulée l'année passée. Donc, qu'on va passer maintenant en juillet-août, une exposition de photographie sur la biodiversité dans la grande région, Focus Biodiversity in Focus, qui va démarrer donc le 9 juillet jusqu'au 22 août. Oui, c'est un peu dommage. Bon, moi, je rappelle toujours que les collègues de Simon à Paris qui avaient les derniers mois, en fait, je pense qu'ils avaient commencé à peu près à la même période que nous, en octobre. C'était prévu une magnifique expo de minéralogie et de gémologie et qui ont dû fermer, je crois, 2 semaines après l'ouverture et qui vont, avec un peu de chance, encore pouvoir montrer leur exposition quelques semaines parce qu'ils vont ouvrir demain, je pense, en France. Donc, une fermeture de plus de 6 mois.
Avec nous, on a eu la chance de n'avoir que quelques semaines de fermeture. Le reste du temps, effectivement, on avait des contraintes de visite, mais il faut savoir que le musée ne peut accueillir en même temps que
86 personnes.
86 personnes. Ce week-end-ci, on a eu les portes ouvertes au musée. On a quand même fait 900 personnes sur le samedi.
Oui, voilà, tout à fait.
Et 800 personnes sur le dimanche.
Non, même plus. C'était l'inverse. Hein. Donc,
Ah, ok. Mais
bon,
avec une file d'attente de 15 à 20 personnes sous la pluie, ça montre la motivation des gens pour voir cette exposition.
Oui, tout à fait. Donc, je pense maintenant, si vous venez, ça va être un peu plus tranquille. Il ne faut plus vraiment faire la queue. Dimanche, effectivement, c'était, oui, 40 minutes, pour certains en tout cas. Ça montrait la motivation. Donc, je pense que dans les 3 semaines à venir, ça va être un peu plus tranquille. Néanmoins, on est toujours content pour tout le monde qui vient. Voilà. So, thank you again for coming. Thank you again, Simon, for your lecture. And yeah.
So, thank you to all my mineralogist friends, people who I know and people who I don't know yet for the moment. So, you are welcome.
Okay. So, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And yeah.